Hey guys, Bias Ramos here, and yes, I'm back in Orlando. So normal looking setup, no makeshift videos. This time around, we're actually back at the setup, and it feels good to be back here. It's been a good month though, prolonged celebration of my graduation or so, but it's deserved. I mean, I've been working hard towards getting my bachelor's degree, and the program I went through was 20 months long, so gotta pat myself on the back there. Aside from that, the Miami Dolphins are facing the New York Jets this Sunday, Week 11. This time it's in New York or New Jersey, East Rutherford, New Jersey, if you want to say. They are playing at MetLife Stadium, 1 o'clock kickoff, and the game will be on CBS. Kickoff expected temperature is 57 degrees, so slightly cold, but our boys from Miami could handle that. Aside from that, this is a big game. Any divisional matchup is a big game. I don't care how good or bad the opponent the Dolphins may be facing. The divisional games are always important. So far, the Dolphins have only won one divisional of three divisional games. They need to start and roll the ball in terms of getting these divisional wins. They already dropped the two straight to the Buffalo Bills, and losing to the Jets right now would be pretty much tragic season ending for the Miami Dolphins. The Jets and the Dolphins essentially have the same record. Dolphins are 3-1. I mean 3-7. I wish they were 3-1. And then the New York Jets are 2-7. They're coming off their bye. Jets are 2-2 at home. Dolphins are 1-4 away. Hopefully that changes to 2-4. I think the Dolphins have a good chance of winning this game. Tua will be under center. He will be starting this game. He's looking a lot better. He has been limited pretty much ever since week 2 in terms of practice and throwing the ball. This week, pretty much, he's been unleashed, and he's been looking real good at practice. So that's all good to see here and see. Jacoby Brissett is also healthy, so he will be a solid option if Tua were to get hurt. But hopefully that's not the case. So there are some things that the Dolphins did last Thursday night against the Baltimore Ravens that could carry over into this game. Things that the Dolphins did really good is putting pressure on the quarterback. Now, there will be no Zach Wilson. He's listed as doubtful, but Joe Flacco is expected to start this game for the Jets. No Mike White, no whatever his name is, Johnson for the Jets. It's Joe Flacco starting on Sunday. And the Dolphins have played Joe Flacco plenty of times. Most infamous time is the check, please, when Kiko lit him up. But that's not the point. Joe Flacco could handle a pressured defense better than, let's say, Lamar Jackson, Zach Wilson, a young quarterback. So, not saying that a highly pressured defense isn't going to work against him, but he will be able to pick up on the majority of the blitzes no matter what we throw at him. So, that will be a game of chess within itself. Now, the rest of the Jets team, they're not the worst, but they're not the best. They're kind of a middle-of-the-pack team. Despite their record, they've had some stunning wins. They beat teams like Tennessee and stuff, so they are no slouch of a team. But I think the Dolphins can easily take this game. Right now on ESPN, they are favored to win 60.3% to the Jets' 39.4%. So those are good odds for the Dolphins, and they are the favorite when it comes to the betting. But let's talk about some injuries. We have Greg Little, offensive tackle. He's listed on the injured reserve. Christian Wilkins, defensive tackle, listed as questionable. And Andrew Van Ginkel, linebacker, is questionable for the Miami Dolphins. For the Jets, they have Brandon Ecolis, cornerback. He's on injured reserve. Denzel Mims, wide receiver. He is out. Zach Wilson, QB, doubtful. Nathan Shepard, defensive tackle, questionable. And Elijah Vera Tucker, he is questionable as well. The Jets and the Dolphins both are dealing with injuries. I think there are more injuries on the Dolphins side in terms of just players that are kind of nicked up. But they had a long week, so they had a lot of time to recover, especially after a big win. I'm pretty sure they feel pretty good. But pretty much these two teams match up pretty well. The only thing is I'd say the Dolphins have a better defense. They're allowing way less points per game. 25 for the Dolphins, 32 for the Jets, almost 33. So the Dolphins need to put points in order to win this game. That was something they did last week too, and it worked out in their favor. They were limiting the other team's offense, and then their offense was doing pretty well enough to get some points on the board. Now, the Dolphins currently are not in last place in the AFC East. They almost are. But when you have New England Patriots, who just won this past Thursday, 7-4, Buffalo Bills 6-3, and Miami Dolphins 3-7, New York Jets 2-7. These teams, Dolphins, have a chance to turn on their season, and it starts now. It started basically last week and the week before, but Dolphins are in their second straight win and could lead to a third. So moving forward, the record is in the Dolphins. The schedule is in the Dolphins' favor, having the Panthers, which I think will be a tough game. Giants will be a little bit better for the Dolphins. Jets, same thing. Saints, tough, but I think they could win. Titans and Patriots are the last two games in the Dolphins' season. And those are the two games that, if the Dolphins are having a good stretch of games, hopefully going undefeated up until that point, then we could be talking about playoffs. But as of right now, it's very unlikely. But why do I say that? We're facing the Jets. You're very right. You're very true. You're very right. It doesn't matter. One game at a time. So, within this game, the Dolphins need to put pressure on the quarterback. Hopefully it's Joe Flacco, Zach Wilson, doesn't matter. Put pressure on the quarterback. The Dolphins have had success in the past couple of years when they are putting pressure on quarterbacks. Doesn't matter who it is. When they don't get the pressure on the quarterback lights up their defense, because that's the way the defense is built. If we can get to the quarterback, bring him down, make him feel uncomfortable all day long, he's going to make bad throws. So that's really good for the Dolphins. But they haven't been able to be doing that majority of the season. Now it's kind of coming into fruition. So hopefully they could get on top of that. So put pressure on the quarterback. I pretty much say this every week. Establish an identity on offense. I understand the running game is not great, but they need to stick with the running game. Got to keep defenses honest. Once they know you're passing it almost every down, they're going to be sending guys. And it's going to be hard for the Dolphins' offensive line to pick that up. So hopefully they could start running the ball a little bit more and more. I don't care if it's not efficient for them. Just run the ball. Be honest. Next and last but not least, force turnovers. If you win the turnover battle, you're more than likely to win the game. That happened last week when the Dolphins forced more turnovers than the Ravens, plain and simple. So put pressure on the quarterback, run the ball, and force turnovers. I will give you guys another video after the game, so make sure to look into that, and appreciate you guys for watching, and let's go Dolphins.